Hey, this is Eddie from Gamersfire.com, and today I'm going to be talking about my first impressions of Far Cry 4. So the first thing that happened when I started up Far Cry 4 was nothing. The game would not start. After a lot of searching online, I found a forum thread saying that USB-connected gaming devices can cause compatibility issues. I have a Logitech G13 gamepad, so I went to Device Manager, disabled that, and then started the game and everything worked fine. Now, from what I read online, I had it easy because other people had to actually completely uninstall the drivers for their devices just to play this game. And I'm not okay with that. But for now, I'm just going to move on to the actual game. Now, once I had the game up and running, the first real impression I had was exactly what you'd expect. Here, let me show you what happened. The game starts off with some text here, and then this happens. Holy shit! This game is f***ing beautiful. I have the game set to high currently, and there is even a very high setting above that. Now, there have been a lot of pretty games that have come out recently, but this game just feels so organic. The leaves sway in the wind, the way the dirt kicks up from bullet hits, animals have wonderfully rendered fur and animation. The game truly makes you feel like you're actually there. You're standing on top of a mountain with snow around, and somehow the game actually manages to feel cold. It's one of the most immediately immersive experiences I've ever had with a video game. I mean, I just left my game sitting here like this for a solid 10 minutes while I ate my lunch. So now we'll go on to how the game actually plays. The first thing I'm going to say is when you start this game, be sure you have the time to get through the whole prologue, because there ain't no saving till that's done. So let me go through my prologue experience with you. I walked down here. Back I was being tortured, I talked to this guy, I ran through here, I got in this Jeep, I watched this elephant be a badass, I shot at some people, got rammed off the road, snuck by these guys, threw a rock past this guy, stabbed them in the neck, swam past these guys, threw a stake at these guys so that a bear would kill them, killed these guys, then ran up here, and my game crashed. So at this point I'm thinking, maybe it's saved somewhere in there, right? F***. Alright, here we go. Talking, running, Jeep, elephant, shooting, ramming, sneaking, rock, stab, swimming, stake, run by these guys this time because I just want to get to a save point. Talk to this girl, talk to this guy again, more shooting, avalanche, talk to this guy again, and then I get this nice little save symbol up in the corner. The way the game controls actually took a little getting used to for me. Since my gamepad was incompatible, I was forced to use the regular old keyboard. Now the key bindings were fine, there was no problem there. The game uses a fairly generic control scheme, and that's not a bad thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the mouse just felt a little weird to me at first. When it came time for me to start shooting stuff in the game, I couldn't hit anything. I mean, look at this.
On your right! Watch out!
But then I adjusted the sensitivity some and played the game for a while, and I did start to get used to it, and the shootouts started to be more like this. The next thing I want to talk about is the driving. This game contains a lot of travel, and the important part about the driving is that it's fun. Driving through all the trees on a dirt road in first person really gives a sense of speed that's lacking from a lot of other games. The most important aspect of the driving to me, though, is the new feature where you hit shift and the car just continues to follow the road. This way you can aim to the sides and behind you to shoot without going off the road. It's one of those little mechanics that's so simple and obvious yet genius that you can't help but wonder, why isn't this in every game ever? And it's a good thing they added it too, considering what happens when I take over driving. I'm not going to say much about the AI because basically there's not really much to say. Not bad, just doesn't really feel like they've improved it much since the last game. Enemies have always worked well together in the Far Cry games, and that definitely still stands here. There's just nothing new. The way animals behave and seem to actually be surviving in the world around you is a nice immersive touch, even if they seem a little overly aggressive at times. And having random firefights pop up between the friendlies and the bad guys really helps make it feel like you're in a war-torn country. But it does seem like those conflicts shouldn't be quite this easy to resolve. And I must say, I'm somewhat concerned with the way that the Golden Path chooses to celebrate. Another aspect I want to cover quickly is the, for lack of a better word, platforming. This really caught my attention and that surprised me. It's not really an in-depth system, but jumping across giant cliffs and climbing decaying radio towers is actually quite fun and appropriately scary. The last part of the gameplay I want to cover is simply how amazing the guns are. I play way too many shooters where you might as well be using a water pistol because the guns just have no oomph. They don't actually feel dangerous. This is one of those few games where the guns actually feel powerful, like they have some weight to them. Look at what happens when you get your hands on a shotgun. That's awesome. And I've got to say, being shot at in this game is genuinely scary, not just an inconvenience. And for a lot of these aspects, I have to give credit to the sound design. The sound in this game is awesome. Starting with the guns, they sound like the guns from the most badass of action movies. Let's see that shotgun again. And as I said before, everything is so organic. Down in forested areas, you can hear the world living around you. Animals, wind through the leaves, people driving on the rundown roads, and then higher up out of the trees, you can hear how clear it is. There's almost just you, the wind, and the birds. I'll be honest, at this point in the story, I really don't know what's going on. But that's not really a bad thing. I'm in this country to spread my mother's ashes. There's this crazy bad guy with styling hair, he's in charge of everything, and somehow he knew my mother. There's a rebel group called the Golden Path, who all for some reason have heard of my father. This guy and this girl are competing for control of the rebels. I'm definitely a badass, though I don't know why. And everyone seems very interested in this girl. Oh yeah, and there's this guy. I have no idea who he is. But the game keeps giving me just enough to keep me interested, and I'm genuinely curious where all this is going. And finally, there's this thing. I don't know what this is called, but I freaking love it. I mean, look at it. And it's great for off-roading.
I'll update your map.
Okay, maybe not. So what's my first impression? I'm hooked. I'm going to be playing a lot of this game, and I can't wait to start making some co-op videos with Mags. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can catch those videos when they come out. And go to Gamersfire.com, make a profile so you can hear all kinds of further news about where this game is going and other games that are coming out in the near future. Thanks. Bye.